When we take our shoes off, it just goes socks.
We go full top to bottom, baby. That's Nexus PMG style right there.
Okay.
All right.
Let me just double check one more camera.
Here we go.
Double check, triple check, quadruple check. It's the Nexus way.
Check.
Perfect. Can't see any of that. How did you each kind of instinctively feel a need for Nexus?
Well, we followed our chief vision officer.
Yeah, we had to convince him.
Yeah, it was basically me and Paul agreeing
This
that
was
we
the
needed
order.
to get the heck out of Saudi Arabia, and the only way to be successful doing it was to take him with us.
Yeah.
So we really worked on I was starting my sales practices before we even started XSPG because we were trying to sell Roshan on the vision of the business, and that effort coupled with a little bit of corporate insanity that occurred around the same exact time, I think was what eventually pushed the envelope to get it going. And
I got investigated.
yeah, I wasn't gonna say it, but you said it. Yeah.
But yeah, I was found innocent of all charges.
But I think it sounds corny, but I truly believe that we were colleagues for years before, but we were also friends. Like Paul and I traveled the world together. Roshan and his wife and Paul and I were on the compound together. We'd have dinners together. We all had
Weekends away, Dubai,
weekends
Bahrain.
away together. Some crazy stories in
Yeah.
places like Dubai and Bahrain, and we had a lot of fun. And I think any good partnership is built on the foundation of history. In fact, you talk about this a lot. What's the author of the book, or the person you say always says like founder?
Well, it was actually Jigger, I think, that really
Jigger,
on
that's right.
episode 1 or 2 or 3 or something of the podcast. But I think Jigger was saying I don't think enough people put enough focus on the founding team's background and how many people will just like, hey, I got a great idea. Let's go form a company together. And it's like they've known each other for like 3 months.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit because our backgrounds are similar but different as well. Both
Yeah.
Professionally, personally. I mean, you look at professionally. I mean, you do project controls, schedule risk, cost management, me accounting. So we got similar kind of execution backgrounds, but at the same time, enough differences personally. Kind of extroverted, sales focused, kind of a mixture between extrovert, introvert. Me more introverted, more internal focused, and I think that was what really kind of gave us the opinion that we could succeed as a group.
I remember we did a personality test type thing off-site on the weekend when we were still in Saudi, and I was like literally off the charts somewhere on the extrovert side.
You were the same as Steve Jobs, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I was like way out
I can't remember what the...
Like there was all these different groupings, and then there was like me, and everyone. I was just kind of like, "Hi, it's me."
It's like 5% of...
And then Paul was definitely on
I was
that end of the spectrum, but on the
INTJ, so anybody who knows the scale will laugh.
Yeah, so you were like on the extreme introvert. Roshan was kind of in the middle, and it was kind of like a weird it's what we thought, but now it's almost like evidenced, right?
Well, then we've got your personality review that we did at the book club, right, with the red, green, and that kind of confirmed that thing with where our personalities differ, but they also form a good team. So that was really, I think that dynamic, the team dynamic between us, as the personalities have really originally brought us together, kept us together, and they kind of help us succeed as a group. So I think that's a big part.
It's a foundation, like I said earlier, it's a foundation of respect too. Like, I respect their skill sets. I respect if they're very, very strong on an opinion that may be opposing me, but they're, that's one that they want to die on. There's a reason for it. I respect that, and I think it goes all the different ways.
And we haven't had any disputes really in 7 years. 8 years.
Not to any degree that
couldn't be resolved in 24
all like
to 48
disputes
hours.
that were more around like moving a project forward or moving, but it was no like, I'm not talking to you anymore or any of that like madness.
Yeah.
But
there's a couple sales ones, I think, where we kind of differ about strategy. Sales brain's one. That's definitely an inside joke on Ben blowing up on me on not having a sales brain. But I think that one was a prime example of how we got through it on, I think we listened to each other quite well, and the proposal that went out was, fortunately the project didn't go through, but...
Hey, sales brain is strong these days, though.
Sales brain is strong these days. You got to have a sales brain.
Look at what we're doing. You spearheaded sales brain.
Got to have a sales brain, but yeah, I think I think that the idea of how we all complement each other and how we're not the same is probably our biggest strength.
I think we know our weaknesses as well, and we
Yeah.
solve for that. So I think I mentioned it earlier where we brought Steve in, we brought Chris in. We know gaps. We know technical's a gap for us, so Chris fills that, and with his knowledge and the team he's built, Steve fills a number of gaps in terms of industry knowledge, subject matter expertise, and operations and turnaround efforts. And we brought him in, and he's running his own business line now. So seeing not necessarily gaps all the time, seeing opportunities in other people's skill sets to build a business around, to be flexible enough to say, hey, we could do something here, I think has really been a big factor of growing this company.
Well, I mean, let's talk to Steve and Chris coming in. I mean, up until Chris really joining the company, I mean, I'm average, maybe good engineer, and that was effectively my role. I was taking all the execution and the engineering, and when we really took a look at, and we always bolster with SME, subject matter experts, under our 1099 umbrella of just folks that I think we've done a really good job building a network of folks that could come in. If we didn't know, we're always, I think, humble enough, is probably the right word to say, humble, to bring in the right folks that could really help guide us for the betterment of our client. And I think most of our clients see that, but when we really think about going and building an engineering group and the skill sets that requires, someone like Chris that is a much better engineer than I am, quite frankly, coming in, he's got his PE and actually being able to.
He'll be happy you said that.
Yeah, I know. But and then
We're
even
gonna
Steve.
post edit that out.
Yeah. but then Steve on the operations side, right? I mean, as we were recognizing a lot of these plants and these facilities in this sector, have struggles in terms of getting up to nameplate, and that operational I guess lens, if you will, is when we build projects
We build plants
and we
and
walk away in
away.
mechanical
Yeah.
complete. I mean, like, we needed that skill set internally. I think we were, again, I'll use the same word, humble enough to recognize that we needed a partner that could really round that out. And so when you look at how we've grown the team and how we've thought about bringing folks in, it's really thinking through being humble, looking at where we felt like we knew we needed help, and then finding folks that fit within our culture.